Are you estrogen dominant? Or do you think or have been told that you have too much estrogen? Stay with me to find out what you can do about it. I'm Dr. Marc Sklar, the Fertility Expert, and welcome to Fertility TV, your YouTube channel dedicated to empowering your fertility. I've been helping couples from all over the world get pregnant for over 17 years with my virtual consultations and online fertility programs. If you're trying to get pregnant, subscribe and hit the bell so I can help you too. This episode is all about balancing out your estrogen levels. I often hear that patients come in saying that they think that they're estrogen dominant, or that someone has told them that they have too much estrogen because of X, Y, and Z, and they don't know what to do about it. So this video is to tell you about how you can find out if you are estrogen dominant and what you can do about it. So number one, how you can find out if you're estrogen dominant. If you've been told, you suspect, you think that you might be estrogen dominant or have too much estrogen, the first thing you need to do is get tested. You have to have some hormone testing to figure out what's really going on, and some hormone testing to figure out why it's happening. So my two forms of tests that I think are important. The first one is a blood test. You've got to do a blood test to figure out where your blood hormone levels are at. But my favorite test is called the Dutch test. It's a dried urine hormone test. And this will not only tell you where your estrogen levels are at, but it will tell you how they're being used, how your body metabolizes them, and the three different types of estrogen throughout your body and the levels of each one, not just estradiol, which is what typically gets tested in your blood work. So if you're curious about the Dutch test, this is it right here. So really simple, small packaging. This one is called the Complete Dutch Test. You are taking this, it's a dried urine test. It's got awesome instructions, everything you need to know. And then what you get is these little slips. You get 5 of them, and you collect, and you start on one day and you end on the next day. And what you're doing is peeing on this little strip right here, and then you leave it out to dry 24 hours, just like that. And then when it's all dried up, put it in the envelope and send it off. About 2 weeks later, I get the report, and it tells me what's going on with your estrogen levels. Now, there's another Dutch test. They're all Dutch tests because the companies runs Dutch tests, but this one is a full cycle mapping Dutch test. So you're doing a lot more of these. Oop, that just dropped. You get a lot more of these kits. You can see all of those, right? Because you're checking your hormone levels throughout your entire menstrual cycle. And I do that for patients who I'm not sure what's going on with their cycles. I want to understand a little bit more about what's going on with your estrogen and progesterone overall. And so that's an essential test for that. Doing your lab test is by far the first place to start. If you don't have that information, one, you don't know if you are estrogen dominant, and two, you don't know how to deal with it. So oftentimes patients come in saying that they're estrogen dominant, and really their estrogen is just fine, but they don't have enough progesterone. So we really need to get the right information regarding your hormones. If you are estrogen dominant, a couple things that you can do. First thing is you have to clean up the toxins in your environment. These toxins are endocrine disruptors, and they can throw off your estrogen levels and cause an estrogen or hormone imbalance with excess estrogen. So you have to clean up your environment and what you're using around the house in terms of cleaning products, plastics, and so forth. Number 2, increase your fiber intake. Estrogen binds to fiber, and fiber helps to excrete the estrogen out of the body and get rid of it. So increase your fiber intake. And then number 3, I know I said 2 points, but number 3 is do a detox. Detoxifying when you do have estrogen dominance is going to be beneficial along with the fiber because it helps to pull out the excess estrogen and hormones out of the fat cells and excrete them and get rid of them. So my favorite way to do this, and I've seen awesome, amazing results with my patients, is by doing my Fertility Reset Detox. You can get more information on that detox by clicking the I right here. So if you want to find out more information, if even you need to do a Dutch test or check out your hormones, then you should check out my Fertility Wheel. You should find out what your fertility score is. It not only will look at your hormone levels and ask questions about what your hormones are like, but it will also have you evaluate your environment and your toxic levels. So that's just a couple of the sections of the all 12 that you will review. If you want information on checking out your fertility score, then again, click on that I right here. So if you're interested in finding out more about your hormone levels and you want to do one of these Dutch tests that I think is really essential for all of my patients, then reach out to me so that we can do a consult one-on-one, find out what tests you need, and get those ordered. You can do that by going to marksklar.com/hope or clicking that I icon right here. And remember, you are fertile, you are awesome, you can get pregnant. If you found this video helpful, there are 3 things I need you to do right now. Number 1, like this video and leave a comment below letting me know what other videos you want me to cover in future videos that I record. Number 2, subscribe to Fertility TV to get the best tips on how to get pregnant naturally. And number 3, take the fertility quiz so you can find out what your fertility score is. It's a simple process to figure out what areas of your reproductive health are not quite right and what to do about it.